Uh, you were talking about sustainability funds, and interestingly, we have a question from the audience. And Mr. Vishal Tripathi, he would like to ask how London municipalities are dealing with climate change adaptation, and what are the challenges? Do we need additional planning? And he's also concerned that London may be one of the cities which may be impacted by rising sea levels. So, your take on that.
Well, that's correct. Of course, a former vice president in the US, Mr. Al Gore, said that the ice cap will shrink, and we're still there. But yes, climate change is happening. I intend to make London the greenest city in the world, the most digitally connected, so I can espouse more of technology and innovation. But that's a great question. I think, like any other city, London needs to have more recycling, more regeneration programs. Sustainability is key, but there are challenges. For instance, when you tell, I was sitting in I only use public transport now, by the way, for the last 10 years, because I live very centrally. I was sitting in an Uber driver's car, and he was actually the owner of a fleet of cars. He had about 100 odd cars. And his concern was that there are not enough charging points because the government is now moving them towards electric cars. So if there are not enough charging points, that's a problem, because you have a car and you got to wait for a long time. But don't forget, these charging points are run on normal electricity. Now that again is not helping the atmosphere. So there's a myth about electric cars that you set a deadline, and what tends to happen with most national governments, yes, you want to bring about control your carbon footprint and everything else, but they don't think that the Uber driver with the fleet of cars is suffering now because he's got those cars, but then charging points are not sufficient. So the planning has to be clear, crystal clear. You got to think ahead. And those are some of the challenges where the jury may be out whether electric cars are really the solution, because those batteries and other things also to make them take on and increase the carbon footprint and sort of pollute the air. But having said that, yes, there has to be a target. We each need to be conscious. So as I'm using public transport, but that can only happen if your public transport system actually works. Investment needs to go into it, and not enough investment is going.